So our essential question for today is, how do you simplify radical expressions? Okay, so over here, the most important thing that you have to remember is this big square root over here. Okay, that means you gotta find the square root of the top and also the square root of the bottom. And then you're going to have to multiply that by 3 square root of 6x. So obviously we have to do the factor tree first. So factors of 25 will be 5 times 5. And then let's go ahead and find factors of 30, right? And so factors of 30 would be 6 times 5. We want to circle our prime numbers, okay? And then 6 is 2 times 3. So let's go ahead and write this all out, okay? So 25 is 5 times 5. 30 is 2 times 3 times 5. And then we're going to multiply that by 3 square root of 6x. We know that that has to be on top, right? When we multiply a fraction to a whole number, the whole number goes to the top. It's the same as being over 1. So then remember what I said, everything in the square root can be multiplied together, right? And all the regular numbers have to be by itself. So the 3 is a regular number, so it's going to be on the outside. There's no other regular numbers except, oh, wait a minute, the 5 comes out. So I put a box right there, right? So I'm going to have 3 on the outside, and I'm going to have a 5 on the outside. On the inside, though, I notice that I have 6x. And that's it. At the bottom of the fraction bar, I see a 2, a 3, and a 5. And a 1, but I don't care about that. So there you go. I'm almost done with my answer. I'm supposed to go to the next page, but I'm just going to go ahead and draw a line over here and finish it off right there, okay? So 3 times 5 on the outside is 15. On the inside of the square root, why did I put 16? I have 6x. And that is over the square root of 2 times 3 times 5, which is still square root of 30, right? Now here's the problem, guys. Our answer cannot be left this way. We cannot have a square root at the bottom, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take you to the next page because I have to now, okay? Are we ready? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite what I wrote over there in the little box. So what I had was 15 square root of 6x over square root of 30. Because we can't leave it like this, we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by square root of 30. All right? So then again, the same thing happens, right? Everything on top should stay together. So I have 15 on the outside, and in the square root, everything else. At the bottom, the square root of 30 times square root of 30 is going to make it come out, right? So I already know that's all good. That's the reason why we multiplied it twice at the bottom, right? So now let's see what happens on top, though. We have 6x, and you know what? I gotta make sure everything is factored again on top. The 6 and the 30. Yes. So 6 is 2 times 3, and 30 is 3 times 10, and 10 is 2 times 5. So you know what I know? On top, the 6 is 2 and 3, 30 is 2 times 3 times 5. So all these numbers in the circles go together, right? So I'm going to put them all, but I'm going to put the same numbers next to each other. Like this 2 goes with that 2. So 2 times 2, and then this 3 and that 3, times 3 times 3, and then this 5, right? And then let's not forget that we also have an x over here. So I'm going to put the x there as well. Now let me put my boxes because I know they get out, right? So now, on top, I'm going to have 15 on the outside, and then another 2, and then another 3. But on the inside, I have 5x. At the bottom, the 30 and the 30 came out already. So I'm just gonna leave it like that, right? But hey, don't we have to multiply everything? Yes, we do. But look, before we multiply, remember how regular people and regular people can get canceled out? 15 times 2 is 30. And so that cancels out with the 1 at the bottom. Are we good? So my answer ended up being 3 square root of 5x. All right?
And you can stop it right there.
We are finally done. Okay? I know, it was a little bit more complicated. No, this is the simplest way.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That was extremely hard.
Now let's go ahead and do the last question, okay? All right, so this one is an easier one actually. So if you got this question correct, you got a 6 out of 10, okay? So over here, you can see that you can't really cancel anything out. Usually the 6 and the 5, if you wanted to, you could cancel it out, but you can't, right? So this is what we had to do. We had to rationalize the denominator. So we had to multiply the square root of 5 to the top and the bottom, just so we will not be left with a square root at the bottom, okay? So there you go. Outside people go with other outside people, so the 2 and then nobody else, right? So 2 is outside. Oh no, what happened there? 2 is outside, and then 6 times 5 is on the inside, but 6 is also 2 times 3, right? The 5 times 5 means it's going to come outside, right? So then now we have 2 and then square root of 6 times 5, which is 30. And then at the bottom I have a 5. I cannot simplify the 2 with the 5, and so that's it. That's my answer. Okay? So now I'm going to give you some practice questions, all right? Okay, so here are your practice questions, and I want you to go ahead and solve them for me, okay? All right.